time for the scary bit. Boot, 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 bobbing along. Hi, we're Stuart and Emmie, and we've lived on our 57-foot narrowboat Annie for 2 years now. We've been sharing the joys and delays as we head towards Sheffield. Lately, we've had various problems with our engine, including rising coolant levels and carbon releasing all over the engine bay. But after a service and some TLC, we're excitedly preparing for the cruise we've been most nervous for, the Tidal Trent. The River Trent is tidal once you pass Cromwell Lock. This means there's a lot to be aware of with the flow, changing water levels, and very large boat traffic. It's advised to buddy up with another boat in case one of you gets in trouble. You can buy detailed maps showing exactly where to steer your boat to avoid getting stuck on a sandbank, among other dangers. And there's an excellent helpful Facebook group you can join called Try the Trent. To get to Sheffield, we need to cruise the Tidal Trent from Cromwell Lock to Torksey Lock to Keedby Lock, booking in with each lock ahead of time. For a section of the Tidal Trent, you're required to carry and be licensed to use a marine radio. So Stu did an RYA course at Newark Marina, and we have a radio. We've been preparing for months. We've got our life jackets, our life ring and our anchor ready, and it's tidal time today. Or is it? Good morning.
Good morning.
We are nervously preparing for going on the Tidal.
Yeah.
Stu's just spoken to...
I've just spoken to all of the locks, basically, bar Cromwell, actually, which I'm just about to phone. But I've booked our visit from our journey from Torksey to Keedby and booked in the time. I just need to book in the time now from Cromwell to Torksey, and our plan otherwise today is just really to get
to Newark
or to Cromwell. Yeah, quite possibly. I'm actually going to ask how busy it is at Cromwell when I phone.
Cool.
I think maybe aim for Cromwell.
Yeah.
This is Staithorpe Power Station, and just beyond that is Averham Weir, just round the corner. The weir is really long, and it's quite intimidating, but it's actually not too bad to go past.
Well done, Stu. We're past the danger weir.
It wasn't too bad. Initially, where the current was strongest, I could feel it pulling over a bit, but it wasn't too bad once we got up close.
Once we were past the weir, it almost felt just like a wide canal, really.
Are we racing? Are we racing, guys?
I think they'd win.
I don't know, we're winning.
Particularly when they remember they've got wings.
Oh yeah. Wow, those guys are winning. Oh my gosh, I didn't see all those down there. Wow. This is the most swans I've ever seen in one place. That's where Stu did his VHF training. We're coming into Newark. Hi cows.
Hi cows.
This is Newark Town Lock. It's overlooked by the imposing ruins of Newark Castle, which is really cool to cruise by. The Trent through Newark is partially canalised, so there's not a huge amount of flow, even though there are a few weirs, but most of the flow leaves at Averham Weir and then rejoins after this next lock, Nether Lock. So it makes for a really nice, gentle little cruise through a really nice historic city. Maybe we'll get to come back and explore it at some point, who knows. River locks have these steel cables to secure your ropes to, which are kind of awesome.
Most of the locks along this stretch have been manned, and we've been phoning about 15 minutes ahead to say we're coming, so the locks have been ready for us, and all the lock keepers have been so lovely and like giving us information, and yeah, so far so good. It's just been a really good experience so far. Almost at Cromwell. Time for the scary bit.
Possibly time for the scary bit.
Possibly time for the scary bit. We've just moored up at Cromwell Lock. Stu's gone to speak to the lock keeper. I think we're going to stop here for the night. It's so beautiful.
So over there you've got the weir, which is kind of what they call fresh. So it's essentially the water that's coming down off of the UK, off of the north of the UK. A lot of the water comes from various Trent tributaries, one of the biggest one being the Derwent, which is one of the main runoffs from the Peak District, which is quite a big, fairly rainy area of the UK. And you've then, once you get onto the tidal section, got the tide as well. So the tide is going to be at its peak tomorrow around about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning near Hull, and then that takes like 5 hours to then get to its peak over here, roughly. And so what they kind of do, 5-6 hours, is they let you go about an hour and a half before its peak. So you're kind of almost going, you're going while there's water still coming in, but you've also got the fresh going out. And then at a certain point the tide will essentially turn, start flowing out again, and then you speed up, is my understanding. So like the flow and the current will actually change as you're going along. It's quite exciting, quite scary.
Well, it's still gorgeous out here. I think I slept about 4 or 5 hours last night and woke up about every 2 hours. I know that once we get on it, it's going to be gorgeous and it's going to be lovely, but yeah, the adrenaline and the anxiety is up.
I'm not sure what time it is, before 9 in the morning, and the plan was to go through Cromwell Lock today and do our first tidal stretch to Torksey, but the coolant level has started having that problem again, so the level is going up, and when Stu's opened the coolant thing, water coolant's come bursting out. So we're not sure if we should set off. Stu's going to try and phone some people for advice.
Yeah. The water that's coming out of it is a bit browny as well.
What's the update?
So everyone agrees that it could be quite serious. Ady's not about, who's the guy who did our service, but he said, yeah, it could cause damage to the actual engine itself. It can cause damage to the head gasket, which I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm sure it's important. And he said it might just be something as simple as a bit of air trapped in the system, and that we should have a look for the bleed screw for the coolant system. So I'm just going to have a look at that now. But it could also be other issues. They have recommended that potentially we go back to Newark, but they also say that they don't think we should go on the tidal Trent with the coolant overpressurizing. And have said that, yeah, potentially we either see if we can get someone out, or potentially we go back to Newark. Obviously, they've cancelled us for today, but they did say that it is actually quite good all day. So if we wanted to, like, because there's over like 4 foot of fresh water coming in, so even at low tide there'd be plenty of water for us to still navigate in.
They've cancelled us for today, but
They've
there's still
cancelled us to go to Torksey today.
Yeah.
They've said that if we're able to get somebody out, or we're able to fix the problem ourselves, they'll we can still go today potentially.
Right. Okay, that's
Just
the end of it.
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of looking like it might be head gasket failure. So the head gasket is something that sort of creates a seal on the top of the engine, and just reading the Wikipedia page, it looks like leaks there can cause like internal gas leaks, and air can get into the coolant system, causing overpressurizing and coolant to go like overflow the expansion tank, the coolant expansion tank, and that is bad because it means it's not cooling the engine properly. So it looks like we're gonna not be going on the tidal Trent for definite today, probably, even though they said we could, because if it's the head gasket, the fix is replacing the head gasket, which from Stu remembers Pete at Narrowcraft saying it's almost cheaper and more effective to just replace the whole engine. So this might be a bit of an expensive, disastrous moment.
It might be, though, that if we can just get the coolant system bled and get rid of some of the air pockets, that might be enough of a temporary fix for now.
Do you think it's enough of a temporary fix to be okay to go on the tidal Trent, though?
Possibly. Have to keep an eye on it, I think.
Okay. Oh, God.
Well, it's a lovely day.
So Stu's just spoken to RCR. Someone's going to come out, but it's really busy for them because it's the first nice
Couple
bit
of
of
days
weather
in a while,
for a while,
yeah.
so everyone's boats are breaking. And if it is a head gasket issue, it's a big job that they'll transfer out to someone else. So we're just waiting now, and the most gutting thing is how good the tidal Trent conditions are this weekend. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Like our best possible conditions for doing this, our first time. And it's beautiful weather, and it's just such a shame. Well, actually, that's not the most gutting thing. The gutting thing is how expensive this is probably going to be, but that also is gutting.
It might be that we can get away with just like bleeding the coolant, but it might be that we can't. It's whether or not, if it's a problem where it's just air in the inject, which could be due to other issues,
But it sounds like, from what we've read, air in the coolant is probably a sign of the gasket failing, which is fun.
Well, I guess all we can do now is go back up to the picnic area and just enjoy how beautiful this spot is until our RCR person comes.
Yeah, that is an option.
What's the other option?
Panic, run around up and down the
Oh, okay,
inside
I don't
of the
like
boat.
that option. Let's try and enjoy this time. Thank you.
That's the A1 over there.
Yay.
Hooray.
You're so obsessed with motorways.
Hooray!
We've decided to go for a walk.
There's a tempting looking ice cream sign over there.
Oh yes.
Who knew this was just off the A1, eh?
That was really lovely. That's Miss Molly's or something?
Miss
Is it Molly?
Maggie's?
Or just Maggie's. Wait,
yeah.
what's Miss Molly's? That's something, isn't it?
Maggie's little kitchen, I think it was.
That was Maggie's secret barn, I think. Anyway, we've just really relaxed.
Maggie's something.
We'll put what it actually is on the screen. It's very warm. I think it's nearly 30 degrees C today.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the boat and open it back up so the breeze can come through. Woo. It's really pretty.
I like flowers now.
What do you mean? Did you not before?
Thank you so much for watching. Please do chat with us in the comments below and boot that like button. Our next video won't be for a couple of weeks, so if you're not already, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.